What is up guys, Witkomon here and welcome to the next episode, and today I'm going to show you guys 10 sets of Pokemon cards with hidden stories. And guys, don't forget to subscribe for weekly Pokemon content, or maybe even 2 videos a week, and also don't forget to like and leave a comment. So kicking it off at number 10 on our list is Pokemon from the set Black and White Legendary Treasures. Now the Pokemon in this one include Trubbish, Phione, and Empoleon. Taking a look at this poor little Trubbish, we can see that it looks to be all alone, doesn't have anybody around us, it looks a bit sad. If we look to the right, we can see a building, and at the top left we can see black smoke, and it seems to be in the setting of a garbage dump. Looking at this next card, we can definitely see a bit of a correlation, as the Trubbish from the previous card is in the background, and it's in the same setting of the garbage dump, and it seems to be looking at the Phione, which is waving at it from the water. Looking at this Empoleon card, we can see that both Trubbish and Phione make an appearance again, but this time with an Empoleon. The Empoleon is giving Trubbish a ride on its back, and it seems like Phione may have felt sorry for the Trubbish being all alone and decided to give it a little bit of fun. Alright, so number 9 on our list comes from the Southern Islands card set, which some of you may remember from my top 10 most rare and expensive Pokemon cards of all time video. This was a promotional set released in 2001 consisting of 18 cards. In Japan, it could only be bought in 6 different 3-pack boxes, but the one we are going to be looking at for this video is in the 5th box, which I've circled for you guys. When you first look at these 3 different cards that came in the box, you may not see very much, but when you combine the arts of all of these cards, you may see one big picture. I know it may be a little bit hard to spot at the beginning, but once we spot it and put everything together, the full image shows a beautiful scene where all the Pokemon and all the different cards are playing together in the water. It's not something that is unique to that specific box, rather every single box, all the Pokemon card arts are taken out of one big picture. As we can see in this one, all 3 arts from the cards are combined to make another big picture, and that goes for the same on all the other boxes. Number 8 on our list came from the set Roaring Skies, which by the way I have to say did have some of the best cards in it, but this hidden story, I have to say, is one of the saddest. This first card features a Meowth, which looks kind of happy sitting in a field by itself, you would think, clutching a berry. But if we look into the background, we can see an Inkay hiding behind some bushes, sort of spying on the Meowth. I don't know about you, but to me it looks like this little guy might be up to some trouble. If any of you guys thought what I did, then you are right, because this card shows the Inkay stealing the Meowth's fruit, and with the Meowth in the background chasing after it. Poor Meowth is crying and looks a little bit beat up. I don't know if you can see at the top right, Meowth's right eye is a little bit tearing up. So yeah, this is one of the saddest ones, as the poor little Meowth just wants to enjoy its berry in peace. And by the way, if you guys want to pause the video and look at those Pokemon's attacks, they kind of explain what's happening in the card. Now, you guys probably already see something's up, because there are 2 set names on our page right now, and that is the reason that these next 2 cards are so cool, and it's because both of them are from different sets, which I don't think we've seen before. Now this first card, which is of a Chikorita, is from the set X and Y Breakpoint. This Chikorita seems to be in a forest, looking through a portal at a Fennekin in a more urban setting, which is to say, a more city setting. Looking at this next card, which is of a completely different Pokemon than Chikorita, we can kind of see the resemblance. It seems that Chikorita has gone through the portal that it was looking through, and is now playing with the Fennekin that was on the other side of the portal. We can also see that they are both now in Fennekin's city location. Number 6 is from the set Neo Revelations, and is similar to the cards that we saw in the Southern Islands card set, which was number 9 on our list. The 3 featured cards here portray the Pokemon, which are the Johto legendaries, Ho-Oh and Lugia, along with the kind of random Skarmory. Without even looking at all 3 cards together, we can already tell something is up, as in the 3 cards we can see body parts of the other Pokemon in them. As we can see on this Lugia, we can see part of Ho-Ho's wing. I didn't want to give it away too soon, but now looking at all 3 cards together, we can see clearly something is up, and you may have guessed it, or you have guessed it, but it is the same thing as the Southern Islands card set, and it is that these 3 Pokemon cards, the art has been taken from one big picture. Guys, this art looks beautiful. I have to say, I do prefer the hand-drawn arts over the new kind of computer-generated ones. And again, Ho-Oh and Lugia, they are the Johto legendaries, they go together, but Skarmory just seems like kind of random. I guess it flies, but it's not a legendary, it has nothing really to do with Ho-Oh and Lugia. Halfway through our list, these next Pokemon come from the expansion Black and White Legendary Treasures. In the art of this first card, we can see a Charmeleon with a little Swablu just sitting in the background, and it may look like it's getting a little bit too close to Charmeleon's flaming tail. When we look at poor Swablu's card, the story is clear. Swablu did in fact get a little bit too close to Charmeleon's tail, as we saw in the previous card, and it looks to be flying away angrily with a scorched wing. Charmeleon from the previous card also appears in the background, perhaps looking a bit sorry or angry, I really can't tell. Number 4 on our list is from X and Y Breakthrough, and is a very interesting story which is, in my opinion, one of my favorites, and it is the one I put in the thumbnail if you guys saw. It features the massive Pokemon Snorlax and the little Pokemon Chespin. Quite the size difference, I have to say. This Chespin card shows a little Chespin who appears to have climbed a tree and is reaching out for what looks like a raspberry. We can also see a sleeping Snorlax in the background. Snorlax's second card shows what happens when you reach a little bit too far. The Chespin seems to have lost its balance and fell from the tree. Now, I don't know if the Snorlax got woken up and is angry at the Chespin, or if Snorlax is rushing to catch it and save it, although I think the latter option is more likely. Number 3 is very unique, as all the cards so far we've seen feature 2 different Pokemon, but this one features 2 of the same. Furthermore, these Pokemon are also from the same set, being Breakthrough. Who is this Pokemon, you might ask? Yes, it is the derpy Doduo. This first card shows a Doduo frantically racing through the streets, carrying a little satchel, not doing his job very well, as we can see the mail flowing out of it. Perhaps this Doduo is a mailman or a mail Pokemon. Doduo's second card features yet another Doduo sitting on the ground next to a truck. If you look closely at the truck though, you will notice that the logo has a rather familiar look to it. And yes, you guessed it, the logo is the exact same art from the previous Doduo's card. Maybe the Doduo is some sort of mascot, or maybe both Doduos are even the same. As the second card's second attack suggests, maybe the Doduo has made a delivery and is now taking a break. Number 2 is from the expansion X and Y Furious Fists, and it includes 2 different cards, but what's cool about this one is that one of these hidden stories is portrayed in an EX, which we haven't seen before yet. First card is of a Dragonite. This Dragonite appears to be rushing towards something, perhaps it's in a battle, which we can only tell by its fierce expression. Other than that, there's really nothing else we could tell from this card. Only until we can compare it with this Blaziken card that the puzzle sort of gets pieced together. This Blaziken appears to be fighting against another Pokemon, as we could see by its flaming kick shooting towards the end of the card. But who is the Pokemon that it's facing? You guessed it, it's none other than the previous Dragonite. Number 1 is from yet another X and Y Breakpoint, and I saved the best for last. And this one, I have to say, is one of my favorites, which features Hypno and Clefairy. Now, the reason I like these cards so much is because of the art. I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. I don't know what is going on in the background of this card, but what I can tell is that Hypno seems to have hypnotized the Clefairy and is leading it away. Kinda scary in my opinion. This next Clefairy card is even creepier. It shows the Clefairy fully hypnotized with the Hypno standing proudly in the background. I have to say, this is definitely one of the weirder stories. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, where I showed you 10 sets of Pokemon cards with hidden stories. If you guys liked it, be sure to leave a like, and if this video does well, I may post another one, because there are a lot more Pokemon cards with hidden stories, so don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for future videos.